You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the October 10th meeting of the Michigan City Water Works Board. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Yes.
Call the meeting of the water board to order.
Okay.
Approval of minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting held September 26, 2023.
Second.
Motion second, we approve the minutes from the meeting of September 26th. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Purchase order.
Alright, under the purchase orders, we have 7. The first is to Ferguson for 6-inch by 12-inch long repair clamps for $2,080. This is for stock. The second is to Midwest Meter. This is pivot centers and lids for stock for $10,483.70. And then the third is to Gas Photo. This is a turbidity analyzer and phosphate analyzer. These were in the business plan for replacement. Total of $21,801.42. The fourth is to Flanagan Tire, rear brakes for truck number 15, confirming for $512.62. The fifth one is to Utility Supply. This is a tapping machine to replace one of our 25-year-old tapping machines that was so broken that it was about 75% of the price of a new one to fix it. So the price for this new one is $4,243.52. Number 6 is to Weir's. This is truck 2. This is one of our crew trucks we use for construction, main breaks, that sort of thing. And an oil change. There were several issues with the front end, which included ball joints, steering gear, and then there were some lights that got replaced as well. For $6,655.54. This was a confirming purchase order. So we could get the truck back in service and get it back for what it's needed for. Number 7 then was to Shamrock, Chicago. 2 drums of EC1 concentrate. This is the chemical that we put in our boiler unit at the plant to keep pipes from freezing or from going or corroding the pipes either. For $973.50. That's it.
Any questions on the purchase order?
I'll make a motion to accept the list of purchase orders dated 10/10/23.
Second.
Okay.
Motion second, we approve the purchase orders dated October 10th. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Claims.
Make a motion to approve the list of claims dated October 10th, 2023.
I'll second it.
Motion second, we approve the claims as of 10/10. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, approval of update quote on the Trail Cove subdivision.
Yeah, this subdivision was, and I put July 27th, what I should have put after that is 2021. The board approved quoting the subdivision in Trail Creek known as Trail Cove. It was sent out on August 2nd. At that time, the estimate for the developer to pay was $165,977 toward the project, and the department would cover the labor, which was estimated at $140,093. As of so far, nothing's happened with the subdivision. We didn't hear back from them as far as that was concerned. And then Monday of last week, I received a request to update the estimate. It's still the same development originally intended, 15 duplex homes. This would be between the wooded area that sits between the strip mall and Hammers on US 20. And then the Moose Lodge is on Wellnitz, and there's a piece of property in there that they're planning to build in there. So it's the same project as was requested before. They did request an update. So now, thanks to inflation, et cetera, the new developer portion is increasing to $203,539. And the department share is increasing to $190,765. Some of the materials that were involved in this have doubled in price since the original quote was given. So just the nature of inflation. So the recommendation would be that the board would approve updating the quote and then maintain the same plan as originally was intended, where we are doing the upsides of the water line, a part of the water line through this subdivision to benefit ourselves in the future for some period of time, then perhaps we get some water main running out in Trail Creek.
So you recommending option one?
Yeah, originally, the board approved option one. So this would be just approving option one with the new pricing.
New price.
So you need an approval for updating the quote?
Yes.
Okay. I make a motion to approve updating the quote for the Trail Cove subdivision and maintaining the plan to upsize a portion of the main for future development.
I'll second that.
The motion is second, and we approve the updating of the quote for Trail Cove subdivision. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Memorandum of understanding with the Michigan City Board of Works regarding the water main extension project for the East Area Annexation Plan.
So at the June 27th meeting, we sent, the board agreed to send a draft agreement to the city to specify the actions that the department would be taking with regard to this water main extension that the city needs to pay for in this annexed area. And this basically just spells out what we as a department would be doing, both physically and financially, and then what the city would be doing financially with regard to the project. So I sent the draft, and then the city attorney did revise the draft, which is what is attached, initially the 3-page draft. And then it was sent to the sanitary district because they're going to be doing a similar agreement at the same time. And then there were some changes that were made, and I think that a couple of these need to be discussed with the city attorney before we're 100% on this, just because I think, so one of the things that came up initially is that, well, the city couldn't pay for material up front because of state law. Actually, this summer, the state changed the law. There's new legislation at the state level that was approved that now cities can actually pay for things in advance of receiving them, which you couldn't do before, to a point. It's either 50% of the value of the entire project or $2 million, whichever is less. So at this point, the city would be able to pay, according to state law, would be able to pay the department up front, which is exactly what we do with other developers when they need a main extension. So that's what the intention, what we were working on with the agreement. And at this point in time, though, the city has an ordinance in place that would prevent that from happening, and they have a proposed ordinance that's going through city council right now for approval to allow them to follow this new state statute. I anticipate that that would actually be ready to go and approved prior to us putting this project out to bid. But it looks like some of the language got a little, I got a little confused on some of the language changes that occurred from this draft that I sent you guys on Thursday for this draft that is, that's separate and has words in red on it, that's here. So, the intention would be that we get the language nailed down. The plan was to have this memorandum of understanding agreed to by the Board of Works at their meeting next Monday. And then we would sign off on it. I guess from my perspective, my suggestion at this point is that because if the city wants us to bill them for as reimbursement, that's fine. That's what we originally thought we were going to have to do anyway, and I have no problem doing that. So basically, we just need to get that piece of language nailed down. Which way do they want it to be? Do they want to pay us up front for the material, or have us bill them for the material after we receive it? That piece has gotten a little convoluted from what I could read in here. This version, I did send through Barry, and he had approved, and he said that he was fine with what was in this version, the original version. I didn't have a chance to send this to him for any review.
The one with the red?
The one with the red, I had not had a chance to send it to him with any review. Like I said, I got it today.
So the one with the red are the changes from the city attorney?
Well, the city attorney put in some changes based on the modifications that came out of the sanitary district's efforts to create their memorandum of understanding.
Oh.
So I needed to have a conversation with the city attorney, but she went to court today and she hadn't been able to come back in time for, she hadn't been able to get back in touch with me in time for this meeting.
So we can take this up next meeting?
We can, yeah, if we want, if you'd rather table it until the next meeting, so we get the language worked out. I guess the question for you as board, do you have any preference? Do you really care whether we bill them for reimbursement or get paid in advance, as long as we have the purchase order in place from the city that identifies the project and that they've committed the funds to doing the project?
Well, from a cash flow position, I think we want to get paid up front, but
Right. I mean, we can afford to do it the other way, but,
It's always better to get paid up front, but yeah,
yeah.
we'd be fine. I mean, it's not really any different than what we approved before.
So,
what's this, what's the document being changed to say now?
well, if you look at, on the one that has the red language,
Yeah.
there's a few items which are, not that big of a deal. Needed a little bit of adjustment here and there. But in section 5 is where things change significantly, as far as additional items were added in, and it kind of created, to me, it was suggesting we do both, but it wasn't really clear. That's the problem I was having. And like I said, I wanted to talk to her about it before, I was hoping, if Amber had been available, today, we probably could have got all the language pieces worked out and had this ready for tonight. But she had courses.
What position is the sanitation? What position is the sanitary district taking?
Well, the sanitary district is wanting a memorandum of understanding as well. How they do things at the sanitary district's different than how we do things here. when it comes to, adding sewer and stuff like that, so.
But as far as bill, are you getting billed and receiving?
As far as that goes, I believe the sanitary district would be doing this project where the contractor is actually supplying material. The piece that's different for us is that we're planning to supply the material in an effort to save money, because if the contractor supplies the material, they're gonna throw overheads on top of buying the material. So I think we're in the best position to get the best price on the material.
On page 2 here, number 2,
Yeah.
it says the department will be responsible for all engineering costs for the project, which is $300,000 approximately.
Yeah, we talked about that when we had when we had the meeting, and I took the original plan was based on the water main running, was based on the water main running through another property, basically doubling the size of what we're proposing at this point. With our hydraulic model, we were able to figure out that we could actually downsize this project to the minimum that the city is required to do, and still have adequate fire flow and domestic flow for a industrial property.
Okay, and then the next one says the city would be responsible for the material and labor for this project.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we had decided we were going to take on the engineering part of this,
Good.
so that we could control all of that piece of it, and then the city would buy the material. And it's along the lines of we also put money into that county project because we did benefit from having this additional water main, and so I thought it was right for us to be participating in it some.
Okay.
So I thought the engineering was a good place for us to take.
Okay.
Is there a rush on this?
Did they want it before the next Board of Works meeting?
So
Is that what you said?
So I guess what we can do is, I can work out the language issues with Amber. And then, as long as, basically, as long as you're okay with me getting us to that point, then we'll take it to the Board of Works, let them go ahead and approve it, and then we can do it at our next meeting, which will be the week after.
Yeah, that's what I'd suggest.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we'll table it for this meeting, and I'll work out those language details with Amber, and then, and then the plan is that I'll be going to the Board of Works meeting to discuss it with the Board of Works. But my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that at this point, as long as we can get the language pieces worked out, we're all in agreement to do.
Oh, yeah.
We're going forward with this, we just gotta get the language right.
Yep.
Get the language right, yeah. Okay.
All right, old business.
I have nothing for old business right now.
New business.
Nothing for new business right now.
Wow.
Public comments. Any comment from the directors?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion saying we adjourn, all those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.